null productions. Correct. So for that purpose, we will need to understand first what exactly we mean by the null production. Fine. So the production A gives epsilon where A belongs to Vn grammar G then such a production is called as null production. Fine. So if you see anytime such kind of stuff where there is A gives epsilon kind of production there, then you are going to call it as a null production. Fine. So and like it could be any variable. It could be any variable. Now, like when we do talk about a variable, then what should we call that variable as? A variable A in CFG G context free grammar. In short, I am writing CFG grammar G is nullable if and only if A derives epsilon in multiple steps. And so we need to always remember this. A variable A in CFG is nullable if it produces epsilon in one or more steps. Fine. This star means what? Derives in one or more steps. Now suppose if you have some kind of production like this, for example, let me take a sample case for a while. 1 minute. Let me pick up page. Suppose we have something like this. S gives 0s. Okay, 1s and epsilon. Correct. Now if you see, we don't, or even let us take this, even A. Okay. 0a, 0s and A gives epsilon. Now if you see here, if we remove this, what we are going to get? So this should be removed. So ultimately I can write this. If I write this only instead of these 4 productions, will that language be same? Let us try. S gives 0, sorry, S gives 0a. Now if I put A as epsilon, so I would be getting 0. Correct. So S gives 0 is gone. So if you write 0s now, okay, then again 0s, then I can get 0a, then I can get 0 epsilon. Correct. So this will result to 2 0. So I can get same thing here. S give 0, S give 0s. Correct. Then if I replace 0s by 0s and then replace this s by 0. Correct. So if I put the instead of this s, if I put 0, I will get 0 0. Similarly, if I keep on doing this, so I can get the same thing, like number of zeros to be more than 1. So this is what we are going to get. So like you can see here, actually it is overloading our grammar by having such kind of production. When this A, we know that it is not, even if we remove this, it is not going to make any change in the grammar. So can we delete such kind of production? That's what this particular theorem now or method that we are going to see would be addressing. Right? So let us say theorem. If G Pn sigma Ps is a CFG, then now we have to we can do this for only context-free grammar. That's why specifically you are mentioning this. If G is a CFG, then we can find CFG G dash having no null productions such that LG dash equal to LG. Fine. Okay, now how can we do this? So now we have to make sure like our sigma will remain same. Our variable set, even we don't delete variable. What would be changing is your production set. So whatever G dash you are going to have, or you are going to get, it would be like this. But now how can we reach to this level then? Correct. How can we reach to this particularly to get such kind of stuff? Fine. So let us try to solve this. Okay. Now let us prove. So we have to construct G dash. Fine. Now how exactly we are going to do? So step 1. Step 1 would be like this. Construction of set of nullable variables. Now we already defined what is nullable. A variable A in CFG is nullable if and only if A produces epsilon in multiple steps. So there can be direct transition or there can be multiple such transitions. So for example, so let me again add a sample case for you. Suppose I have this S gives. Okay, so let us take a sample AS and then okay AS. Then let me take AB. A gives epsilon. B gives epsilon. And D gives B. So among this, which are the nullable variables? We know A is giving us epsilon. So this is nullable, correct? Similarly, this is nullable. Now, if I apply S gives AB, if I put A to be epsilon, then I will be getting epsilon B. If I put epsilon, so epsilon means epsilon only. So in multiple steps, I am getting this. So for this grammar, S, A, B are nullable. Am I right? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay. So this is how you compute this set of nullable variables. Construction nullable variables. So we have to work out this process ultimately like to reach to that level. So how exactly you apply this? So you construct again similar case W0 equal to, you are going to add every variable A, okay, belonging to Vn such that A gives epsilon is in P. Correct? Are you with me? We are going to add every variable A in W0 such that there's a production A gives epsilon in capital P. This is W0. So like if I go on, So what would be my next W? So I'm writing Wi plus 1 equal to Wi, previous W, union. I'm going to add every variable A. Now this A and this A, we have to somewhere differentiate. Like we will continue with similar some variable A such that there exists, okay, a production A gives alpha with alpha belonging to Wi star. That means what? A gives alpha, means this alpha would be definitely, because for us W is what? Set of variables only, correct? So ultimately this alpha, whatever the alpha that we are going to get, it is going to be only those variables which are belonging to previous session. So like if you see this case, correct? In this case, we saw A and B would be added in W0, correct? In W1, now try to see whether are you getting combination of AB in some variable. So that's what we are getting as gives AB. That's why we will be calling it S as nullable as well. Fine. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, sorry. Some, okay. Now again, when will we stop? We get this. Suppose we get this, then stop. Terminate this step 1. Now step 2. Step 2 would be what? Now we have to construct. Now this would be tricky now. Construction of P dash. Okay. Now, as I said, this would be somewhat tricky. Tricky in the sense, sometime like majority number of times I have seen that student makes mistake here. Okay, and this is only the theorem which creates complications rather in this whole process of simplification. So how exactly you do this? So any production whose right hand side, like right hand side means what? So this side I am talking about. For this production, AS gives AS. AS is right hand side. Okay, this is left, this is right. Fine. Okay. Any production whose RHS does not have any nullable variable is included in P dash. So any production whose RHS doesn't contain any nullable variable, each and every such production would be directly added there in P dash. Okay, this would be first case. Now what if they do contain what you can call it as nullable variable? Okay, so we are talking about that now. If suppose there is a variable A gives x1, x2 dot xk is in P. Okay, now we are assuming that some of these are nullable. Correct. Some of these are nullable. Some of these I'm not saying all. Maybe all, maybe not. All k would be all x1 to xk would be nullable, or some of them would be nullable. So let us first like with both the cases this should work. So like if A is in P, the productions of the form A gives alpha 1, alpha 2 dot alpha k are included in P dash where alpha I equal to xi if xi does not belong to your wi. Correct? See this carefully, what I said. So first case would be what? This would be included where alpha equal to xi. If xi does not belong to wi, then what exactly this means? Let me write like this here. If xi does not belong, sorry, xi does not belong to wi. So I'm saying this if alpha equal to xi and okay, where alpha equal to xi if xi does not belong to wi. Now what happens if it belongs to wi? What is the possibility that xi would be part of w? If alpha is epsilon. Am I right? If your alpha is epsilon, then ultimately whatever xi is, it would be in wi. If it is not in wi, you directly write down whatever the value those are. Now if xi is equal to wi, so we said alpha equal to xi if xi does not equal to wi. Xi does not belong to wi. And if xi belongs to w, then what exactly that means? Where alpha I equal to xi if xi does not belong to wi. If it is not belong to wi, then you are going to write that as it is. So what are the productions that you have? So that's what we did here for first case, correct? Because it is not a nullable variable. Xi is not a nullable variable. Now suppose one of them is nullable. What may be the case? So alpha j may be xj or epsilon, because we don't know this xj again itself is a nullable because it may be produced. This x2 may be producing some variable, some production. There is a production for x2, which may again lead to null. So we don't know that because the example that we saw here, we said A and B are giving you directly this, but when we are talking about A, B, so if both of them are there, then it's okay. Both of them are nullable. Right. So what my productions would be? S gives AS and S gives A. So if I write only this, because S is your nullable, so if I put S to be epsilon, what will happen? I will get only A. So instead of this 4, I can write it like this. Now we want to reach to this level. So you keep S gives AS as it is, as well as you have to write S gives A. So with assumption that S is epsilon, xj or epsilon, okay, with xj belonging to wi. Your xj is a nullable variable, and alpha 1, alpha 2, dot alpha k may not be directly epsilon. In this case, when we said this is epsilon, A and B are epsilon, but in this case, alpha 1, alpha 2, like here alpha 1 is A, alpha 2 is S. Both of them are not epsilon, only S would be epsilon. Correct? So that's what we are saying. They may or may not be same. Now this will lead to too many productions. How they would be? Say for example, let me add some production like this, some variable like this. Sorry, let me take as use A B B. A B this suppose. Okay, so what this leads to? So this is what we're talking about. Now I got alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha k. So this alpha 1 may be epsilon, maybe A. We don't know. In this case, it is A. So it is not epsilon. Correct? Now, if I keep this A to be epsilon, what the production would be? This I will keep this production as it is first. First production is this. Second production would be keep this epsilon. So what I'm going to get? ABB, correct? Similarly, if I put this B epsilon and A to be as it is, so I would be getting AAB. If I put both of them to be epsilon, so I'm going to get AB. That's what I'm talking about. So from this one production, we are going to get this whole thing. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are erasing that epsilon here. Whatever the epsilon that you are supposed to get, so you are trying to erase it directly. So even if I remove these productions now, I'm going to get same language. If I delete these productions, I'm going to get same language. Because if I put both of them or one of them to be epsilon, these are going to solve my problem. These three would be solving my problem. Correct? So this is what we are talking about. So this gives us several new productions. Okay, the way that we wrote. So you may erase one by one. So you may erase all together the way that I did here to get this AB. To get this AB, I erased all. I erased both of them. Correct? This A and this B, both of them. So I got AB. So I erased one by one. So I got these two. That's what we are supposed to do. This gives us several new productions. Fine. Now these new productions, are how they are obtained? Obtained either by not erasing or deleting any nullable variable on RHS, or so like if you don't delete any of them, so you are going to get this. So we got this AB. We kept it as it is. Or otherwise you are going to get or sorry, what we wrote, either by not erasing or deleting any nullable variable. Okay, on RHS. Sorry, not on. Off. Now this was the production. A gives x1, x2 dot xk, or by erasing all nullable variables together or one by one. Correct? Am I right? That's what we did. So either we deleted all or we deleted one by one. So that's what you are going to get. Correct? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Let me try to take one example. So how exactly we do this? So let me first see if I can add a screenshot of this. So yeah, first this one. Let me add that screenshot. Wait for a minute. Control X. Now this theorem. Let me see how much it covers. It is not covering this, so I will add step by step. So I will pick this first step 1. X. So added second 2. Now step 2. This. X. Now see, I have added all screenshots of this theorem. Now I'm adding one example here. Okay, let us do that. So I will take the same example so that it will keep us in the track. Consider G with productions S gives AS, AB, A gives epsilon, B gives epsilon, and D gives B. Construct G1 such that LG1 equal to LG minus epsilon. So we don't want this null. So first step was what? Construction of nullable variables. Construction of nullable variables. So if you see by grammar, what would be added? Every production which is giving you epsilon, those such variables would be added into W0. What would be they? What would be W0?
A comma B.
Very good. A
Yes.
comma B. What would be W1? Now try to see whether combination of AB is occurring to right side of some production. It is there. Which variable is having that?
S.
Yes, correct. So you got W2 now. S, A, B. All these are nullable. So union. Is there any production which is having combination of these all? No. Correct. So 5. So your final set of nullable variable is S, A, and B. Correct. This is your W. Now
Yes, sir.
construction of P dash. Now what you do as per the rule, the productions which doesn't contain any nullable variable. So which are the productions which are not containing any nullable variable to right side?
D gives B.
It is the only production, correct? So let us add it directly. Now all productions are containing nullable variables. So ultimately these productions are to be deleted. These two, this one and this one. Correct? This one is to be deleted. So we have to start with this. S gives AS. We'll write first these two productions as it is. S gives AS. S gives AB. Correct. Now, as I said, you are not going to delete any variable. You are only going to change the productions. Fine. Now, but we have to delete these two productions definitely from here. So we got S gives AS, S gives AB. Now we have to replace each alpha. So this alpha is not epsilon. This alpha, yes, it is nullable. So epsilon. So what you are going to get? S gives A. Correct. Now this alpha, suppose if you don't take this as epsilon, this would be epsilon. So this would be S gives A and S gives B. Correct. So this should be your production set. Now you may say, are we going to use these three? Right now, no. But we have to keep them. So next theorem that we are going to see would be removing these three. But like when we generally say, if I talk about this, I cannot say that every time this would be true, because I will get always this LG dash is equal to LG minus epsilon. So I'm removing that null production. From that language, I'm removing epsilon. But then in that case, it would not be an equivalent language. Now, when would be epsilon as a part of LG? Can somebody tell me? What is the possibility that LG dash would be containing epsilon? Or LG would be containing epsilon? If your start variable itself is nullable. Correct? Now suppose if your start variable is not nullable, will you ever reach to epsilon? Yes, are you with me? If your start variable is not nullable. Now in this case, our start variable is nullable, correct? Now if your start variable itself is not nullable, you never will get epsilon as a part of language. So you are assuming that in this case your LG is containing epsilon. That's why you can generate this. Correct. But then what happens if if I try to delete that epsilon, suppose if S is nullable. Now I'm going to get this, but my language changes. My language was containing epsilon. When on what basis I'm going to say that it is same? Are you getting my point? What I said? Because if you recall earlier theorems, 2 or 3 theorems, 2.5 theorem, what we learned, what we did was every time when we applied the theorem, we got the same language. Now, if epsilon is part of my language, in this case it is. Now I'm constructing LG1 such that epsilon would not be part of it. But then this will not work out with my original grammar. What can be done if in case your LG contains epsilon? You cannot change the language, but you have to remove these null productions. Now what is the possibility to have that as a nullable? Because you already resolved this. S gives A, but this S is not nullable. Why it is not nullable? S is nullable in this case, but your language is not giving you S gives epsilon. Are you with me? It is not directly giving you epsilon in this case, if you see, because we removed epsilon. But then our original language, which was this, if I talk about the production, S gives A gives epsilon, B gives epsilon. If I put epsilon for both, I'm going to get epsilon. But my language is changed now. So when I talked about this removing null productions, I actually worked out with this case. But then how can I protect my languages? So that Even if I remove that null production, this should work. Let us try to, are you with me? By the way, what I said, have you understood? Yes, please. Okay, let me repeat this. What would be the language generated by this grammar? Can somebody tell me what would be the language generated by this grammar? So if I start writing this, suppose LG is equal to. First thing is what? So suppose if I put A and B epsilon, what I'm going to get? A and B both are to be epsilon, so I'm going to get epsilon. Secondly, I would be getting S gives AS. Now if S is replaced by AB and A and B one by one would be replaced by epsilon, so I'm going to get A. If I want 2S, I will write AAS. AS, next S is replaced by AS again. So I would be getting AAS. S again replaced by AB. Both of them are epsilon, so I would be getting this. So in subsequent phases, I would be getting this. So it is like A raised to n, n greater than or equal to 0. Correct? Because in this case, whenever I am
Yes,
having a raised to 0, I always consider this as epsilon, not 1. This is not mathematics class. Yeah, somebody was saying something. Yes, somebody was saying something. I heard some noise, sound. Yeah, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Gadwe,
yes, sir.
Allad, Manisha,
Yes, sir.
Allad.
Sir, I'm still trying to process it.
Okay,
I'm a bit
okay.
slow on.
How I got this epsilon? Suppose if you go with this way, S gives AB. You replace A by epsilon, then you get B. Then you replace A, B also by epsilon, so you are getting epsilon. So double epsilon means epsilon only. So I got first thing, correct? Now second thing, suppose if
Yeah.
I go with S gives AS. S is replaced by AB. Again AB we get this, so you are going to get only A, correct? Fine.
Yes.
Similarly, if I put this S as AS again, so I would be getting AS. This S to be AB again and then epsilon. So I would be getting 2S, correct?
Yeah.
So that's how I got this LG.
Okay.
Now my language is containing epsilon. And my problem statement was started like this: LG1 equal to LG minus. I only removed from that epsilon from language. That's what I got now here. I'm not going to get anyway epsilon here. But then our understanding of implementing this simplification was to protect that language. Language should be same. Then what can be done in such a case? If at all we want that to be same. Correct? Now one case is what? Your S itself is epsilon. Means when, sorry, S is epsilon means S is nullable. So let me work out with two sample scenarios to protect that. I'm done with the example by then. Yeah, this is our example. So let me see if I can give you screenshot. Fine. So let me talk about now how to protect that language. So we are getting something which will take us to next theorem. So these productions, we have to remove these two. Okay, that would be done by next theorem. Okay, but now first of all, let us see how can we protect it. How can we protect that epsilon to be part of it? So like let me say there exists an algorithm decide whether epsilon is in LG. How to prove this? There exists an algorithm to decide whether epsilon is in LG. What that algorithm should do? Algorithm should work out this whole stuff and see whether S belongs to this with assumption S is your start variable. Then yes, that this is the algorithm which was giving us this, correct? Am I right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Correct. So in that algorithm will always check whether S belongs to this set or not. Then only it is going to terminate it. Similarly, now suppose I have to protect that language. I have to protect that language. How do I protect it? So if G, say Vn sigma Ps is CFG, we can find. Now we are talking about equivalent language, na? Equivalent grammar G dash, okay, such that I will be having variables to be different. Vn dash, comma, my language is to be protected, sigma. My production set would be changing and my product variable also is added. New start variable would be added. And this G dash will be without null productions except S1 gives epsilon. When epsilon is in LG. So if your start variable itself is epsilon, means what exactly that means? From your grammar, if your start variable itself is nullable, then you are going to do this. You are going to write that directly this way. So you are going to keep whole production set as it is. Only thing that you are going to add two productions. One is this, another one is S1 gives yes. So if now whenever you write this, if S1 is epsilon in P dash, we have to make sure that S1 does not appear on right hand side of any production in P dash. So now if when this would be possible? If epsilon is not part of LG, then ultimately you can provide you can go with the rule theorem that we worked out. Correct? This theorem. This will work. But if epsilon is part of LG, like this, and like this deleted your epsilon, but you have to protect that language. To protect it, you introduce one S1. So there would be two cases. One is what? Your start variable is not epsilon. If your start variable is not epsilon, means start variable is not nullable, directly proceed further with the earlier language, with the earlier method. Your language would be protected automatically. Second case is what? So there would be two cases. So let me say there would be two cases. So there would be two cases. So case one is what? If epsilon is not in LG. Then apply algorithm. Now I will say 3. That means what? This one. The one which I gave you right now in the chat window. The label 1. Correct? You proceed with this. Your problem is solved. If epsilon is not LG, then apply algorithm 3. That algorithm. If epsilon is part of LG. If epsilon is in LG, then apply same algorithm first. Okay. Apply same algorithm first. Then you introduce that. That's what. So by applying the same theorem, we got this. Full stop. Write this. Add them in P dash. Moreover, now what you got here? You got this. LG1 equal to LG minus epsilon with this. So all these productions would be added into new production set P dash with your new variable set to be Vn dash equal to Vn union S1. And P dash would be okay. So now like we got some production set here, correct? So this let us say this is P1. So this production set is P1, for example. This I got from that theorem. This one, correct? Because we removed this epsilon. Like we got LG1. So LG1 contains this. Suppose this is P1 for you. So you are going to add P1 union. Now two productions. S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon. I should write comma. S1 gives S, comma, S1 gives epsilon. And we have to make sure that S1 you are not going to write out RHS of either of the production. So whenever you see that your start variable itself is a nullable 1, then you are going to apply this. Okay, this is very, very important. This one. Understood? Yes. Ask if you have any questions.
Sir, can you repeat case 2?
Yeah, I will repeat. 1 minute. Let me first add it there. I will definitely repeat it. No problem. Control V. Yeah. So what I'm saying, there are two cases. So suppose in the given grammar, like this one, in this case, our start variable itself is nullable, correct? So epsilon was part of LG. Now, luckily, suppose your start variable is not part of this nullable, correct? So what you are going to get? Whatever the grammar that you got, you are going to write it as it is. That's what case 1 is. If epsilon is not in LG, apply algorithm 3, whatever production set you get, end up with. Suppose if epsilon is part of LG, that means this, our language was containing epsilon. Why? We saw this, correct? Yeah. We could find out that S was giving us epsilon, correct, Rutuja? Now, if epsilon is in LG, then your Vn dash. Now this Vn dash, the variable set that you got earlier, or from the given grammar, you are going to add a new variable S1. Is that fine? Now, when you are adding this new variable S1, P dash for this grammar would be containing a grammar which you got by theorem 3. Is this one, right? This we got through theorem 3. So you add that as it is, this P1 union, you are going to add two productions. So see, ultimately, because this, which was your start variable in this case for this grammar, S. So your language would be starting with S, correct? Now if I have to consider that both the languages are going to be same, so I have to see that my grammar will reach to this point, either this one, this one, this one, or this one, or this one. How can I do that? So I will add S1 gives S there. That means what? Ultimately, if you see, S के सारे प्रोडक्शन भी मैं लिख देता हूं यहां पर, तो that should not be any problem for me. Am I right?
Sir, that means if epsilon is in my language, then I have to add S1.
Correct. Very good. If epsilon is in a language, then you are going to add S1. And along with that, what are the productions that you got earlier? You are going to add two new productions. S1 gives epsilon, because now this would be protecting your language. Correct? देखो ये अभी नया स्टार्ट वेरिएबल हो गया, तो इसका मतलब एप्सिलॉन देगा, तो अल्टीमेटली व्हाट इट मींस, लैंग्वेज इज प्रोटेक्टेड. Protected in the sense both the languages are going to be same. Grammar would be changing because it is simplified. Is that fine?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Yes. Any other question? Yes. हात का सगळे?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm assuming that now everyone is on the toes. Fine. Yeah. Now let me take an example where you will understand it completely. So let me formulate an example first. Okay. Pen कुठे गेला? Black. Sorry. Suppose this is your production set. Fine. Okay. Now we have to remove null production from here. Okay. Now see here. So what is the first step? Construction of nullable variables. How? Sorry. How will you get it? So W0 क्या आएगा? Which are giving you directly null?
A and B.
A comma B.
See, A gives this and B gives this, so that's why AB. W1 A comma B union. अभी देखो कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ AB, अगर सिर्फ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ AB और सिंपली A और सिंपली B राइट हैंड साइड को किसी प्रोडक्शन में है, only these ones, huh? There should not be any
No,
other
sir.
terminal involved, so we don't have anything, correct? So this would be phi. So your nullable variable is what? AB only. ठीक है? तो जो नल प्रोडक्शंस नहीं है वो कौन कौन से हैं? जिसके राइट हैंड साइड में कोई भी नल वेरिएबल नहीं है, वो प्रोडक्शन कौन कौन सा है? अभी हम P लिख रहे हैं ना? क्या आएगा?
D gives B.
Okay, so let me start with D gives D, B gives B भी लिख सकता हूं मैं, करेक्ट? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
B gives B, ये दो आ गए, ठीक है? ये B वाला आ गया, ये D वाला आ गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया. अभी ये तीनों है जिसमें नलेबल वेरिएबल है, तो अभी यस के लिए लिखेंगे. यस का पहले लिख लो, यस गिव्स A D, करेक्ट? उसके बाद A के भी लिख लो, A gives AB, A gives BAB. अभी हम S से स्टार्ट करते हैं. A को अगर मैं एप्सिलॉन लिखता हूं तो क्या होगा?
S gives AD.
वेरी गुड. आ गया? D नलेबल है? नहीं है, तो मतलब इसको अभी रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते. तो S gives AD. डन. S gives AB. अगर B को नल नल है ना हमारा, उसको मैं एप्सिलॉन रखता हूं तो क्या आ जाएगा? कैन आई राइट दिस? Why can I write this? Because this B itself is a nullable. So if I put epsilon in place of B, I am going to get this A. Correct? So don't say now if I replace B by its value. Don't do that. Only epsilon we are talking about. Because anyway, B would be picked as B here in this case. Correct? Second, अभी ये वाला प्रोडक्शन लेते हैं. A gives. अभी सपोज इस A को मैं एप्सिलॉन रखता हूं तो क्या बचेगा? BB. करेक्ट? सिमिलरली अगर मैं B को एप्सिलॉन रखता हूं तो क्या आएगा? करेक्ट? ठीक है. और कोई बचा है प्रोडक्शन?
Ye-
Yes, sir.
अभी यहां पर S नलेबल था क्या?
No.
S नलेबल है?
No, sir.
नहीं. तो हमारा लैंग्वेज आ गया, ये खत्म. मतलब ये केस 1 जो था ना अपना उस थ्योरम में, ये वाला जो केस था उस तरीके से हमने ये ला लिया. करेक्ट? ये हो गया आपका प्रॉब्लम नंबर 1. सो लेट मी ऐड दैट स्क्रीनशॉट. समझ में आ गया? किसी को
Sir,
क्वेरी है? या
sir, what about the case where A and B both would be epsilon? A goes to B.
सॉरी, इसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ. ये ना ये
No, not that one. In the last step, where A goes to B, A, B.
yeah, both of them. I need to add that A gives B also. Very good, thank you. दोनों को अगर हम एप्सिलॉन रखते हैं ना तो उस केस में B भी आएगा. वेरी गुड, थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू सो मच. ठीक है, ये भी लिखना पड़ेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर मैं दोनों को एप्सिलॉन रखता हूं तो ये आएगा ना सीधा सिंपली. तो ये अभी मेरे प्रोडक्शंस हो गए.
Yes, sir.
तो अभी ये एक एग्जांपल हो गया जहां पर यस आपका नलेबल नहीं है. ठीक है, अभी एक मैं नलेबल वाला लेता हूं. अल्लाद, आयस, विदाते, बिरारी, श्रुति. ठीक है का?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
खंडागळे, ऐश्वर्या, चौहान. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
ओके. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
ये हो गया अपना एक एग्जांपल. अभी मैं लेता हूं नलेबल वाला जिसमें अपना लैंग्वेज प्रोटेक्ट करना है. सो आई एम राइटिंग सेम थिंग. एस गिव्स AAD, ABD. चलो अभी W बोलो. फिर से वही कर रहा हूं मैं. अभी सेकंड एग्जांपल सिर्फ इसी उन प्रोडक्शन सेट में आई हैव एडेड फ्यू मोर प्रोडक्शंस. या अभी बोलो W. फिर से कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ नलेबल वेरिएबल. कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ नलेबल वेरिएबल्स. बोलो वेरिएबल्स कौन कौन से हैं? W0 बोलो क्या है?
A, B, D.
चारों आएगा. A gives epsilon, B gives epsilon, D gives epsilon. तो A, B, D. W1 बोलो. अभी ये कॉम्बिनेशन में किसी के प्रोडक्शन में आ रहे हैं क्या? यूनियन. ABD कहीं पे आ रहा है डायरेक्टली?
S.
सिर्फ यही चाहिए अपने को. हाँ,
Yes,
ये नहीं
sir.
चलेगा. इन दिस केस लकीली वी गॉट S, सो दिस इज yes. सो W2 क्या आया? SABD। अभी कोई कॉम्बिनेशन में है? नहीं ना?
नो सर।
तो 5। तो आपका ये नलेबल वेरिएबल का
Sir,
सेट। हाँ, यस।
that means if I have A, B, D, so combination of all three
Only, no,
can
not
contain
all three. I am saying any combination
A,
of
B.
either of these. तो यहाँ पे
Okay.
ए बी भी हो सकता था सिर्फ, है ना? जैसे पहले हमने एक जो एग्जांपल लिया था एस गिव्स ए बी, ये वाला जो था ना, यहाँ पर देखो, है ना? तो ये कॉम्बिनेशन करके एक सिंपल भी हो सकता है, लेकिन वो वेरिएबल दोनों नल चाहिए, नलेबल वेरिएबल चाहिए। इन दिस केस लकीली वी गॉट 3 ऑफ देम आर नलेबल।
Yes, sir, got it.
ओके, गुड गुड, वेरी गुड। नाउ यू गॉट दिस नलेबल सेट। अभी हमको प्रोडक्शन बनाना है, तो प्रोडक्शन पहले तो वो लिख लो और एप्सिलॉन रिमूव कर दो यहाँ से, तो ये पी डैश आएगा आपका। सो हम ए प्रोडक्शन लिख लेंगे, ए डी, एक एक लिखेंगे, ए बी डी, ए गिव्स ए बी, ए गिव्स बी ए बी, बी गिव्स बी एंड डी गिव्स डी। अभी वन बाय वन एक एक को तो स्टार्ट करेंगे। अभी ये नल है, यस, नलेबल है, यस,
No.
यस नलेबल है ना हमारा यहाँ पर, क्योंकि वो एप्सिलॉन दे रहा है। अभी ए और डी
Yes,
को
sir.
वन बाय वन एप्सिलॉन रखो तो क्या आएगा? Can I do this? Can I write this AAD as like this, 3 forms?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Correct, very good. अभी इसको देखते हैं। S gives AB, S gives AD, S gives BD, S gives ABD हमने ऑलरेडी लिखा है, ये बराबर है? लेकिन यहाँ पे तो तीनों भी नल
Yes,
आएंगे
sir.
ना, तो यस, योर लैंग्वेज इज टू प्रोटेक्टेड। बट अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ एप्सिलॉन मूव कर रहे हैं, एप्सिलॉन का रिमूव कर रहे हैं एलजी में से, है कि नहीं? क्योंकि हमें ये यूज करना है, करेक्ट, ये यूज करना है, इसलिए इतना हो गया। अभी इसका पार्ट करते हैं। एस गिव्स ए बी, ये बी नलेबल है, देख लो, ए गिव्स ए, ये ए और बी नलेबल है, यस। सो ये ए गिव्स बी बी एंड ए गिव्स सिंपली बी, हो गया। अभी देखो ये आपका प्रोडक्शन सेट बन गया, जिसमें अभी लैंग्वेज में एप्सिलॉन नहीं है, करेक्ट। इन ये प्रोडक्शन में नल वेरिएबल नहीं है कुछ भी, हमने वो थ्योरम अप्लाई किया इसलिए हमें ये मिला। लेकिन हमारा ओरिजिनल लैंग्वेज क्या था, उसमें एप्सिलॉन था, बिकॉज ए बी डी मैं तीनों को एप्सिलॉन रखता हूं तो एस गिव्स एप्सिलॉन आएगा, करेक्ट। तो इसके लिए मुझे ये यूज करना पड़ेगा। तो इसके लिए क्या करेंगे हम, नया P1, ये इसको P1 बोलते हैं हम, ठीक है। अभी P डैश बनाएंगे, P डैश में ये सारे लिख देंगे, AAD स्लैश AA स्लैश AD स्लैश A स्लैश ABD स्लैश AB स्लैश AD स्लैश BD। मैंने एक साथ लिख दिए सारे, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, आई गॉट देम, करेक्ट। सो A gives,
इथं S gives A, we should write S gives A also ना?
कोणता A? स्मॉल आहे ना?
S gives A B D जे प्रोडक्शन आहे ना त्याच्यामध्ये B
सिंगल
आणि
वाले
D
ना,
ला जर
सिंगल वाले यू आर सेइंग दिस वन ना। इफ आई like one thing
Yes,
is
sir.
okay, if you put both of them as null, so what would be the case? S gives A, S gives B and S gives D. हाँ, हे तिघं पण येते, बरोबर। इथं कसं हमने क्या किया, यहाँ पर एक एक को एप्सिलॉन किया, अगर मैं दो दो को एप्सिलॉन करता हूं तो ये मुझे आएगा, करेक्ट, वेरी गुड, फाइन। जैसे यहाँ
Yes,
पर
sir.
किया ना हमने वन बाय वन, तो यहाँ पर दोनों को रखा अभी, तो इस ए को नॉन एप्सिलॉन रखा, बी डी को एप्सिलॉन रखा, फिर ए को एप्सिलॉन रखा, B को एप्सिलॉन रखा, D को एप्सिलॉन नहीं रखा. Similarly A को एप्सिलॉन रखा, D को एप्सिलॉन रखा, B को नहीं रखा. तो आई एम गोइंग टू गेट दिस ABD. करेक्ट, वेरी गुड. सो अभी A के प्रोडक्शंस क्या आएंगे? S gives A. Correct. Similarly BAB, BA, BB और B. Correct. यहाँ गया B gives B, D gives D. आ गए सारे? देख लो. अभी इसमें हम दो नए प्रोडक्शंस डालेंगे. S1 gives S and S1 gives epsilon. So to protect the language. So this would be your final production set. अभी देखो आपका लैंग्वेज प्रोटेक्ट होगा क्योंकि आपका नया स्टार्ट वेरिएबल क्या है अभी? S1. ये हमने क्यों किया? Because your S is part of LG. Whenever you, sorry, not part of LG, but S is nullable. Whenever you see that your start variable is nullable, you always introduce this and make sure that this S1 never occurs on right hand side of any production. Otherwise फिर से nullable आ जाएगा ना? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we are going to use this now, these solutions of this particular problem to talk about another algorithm. So I will try to record that, because or I will update you whether am I going to take lecture on Friday, Saturday or not. Okay, most probably I am going to take lecture on Saturday, but if at all it doesn't happen, then I will let you know. Okay. So let me add this.